Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to the continuation of the previous episode where the prophetess was talking about the undersea, where people go for powers to perform magic and even miracles in the church, to gain success in their various endeavors. If you are new here, this is Dangerous African Confessions HD, where we bring to you confession stories to help you make your own informed decisions about your walk with God. Without taking much of your time, let us go and listen to the story. Please subscribe if you haven't done so, and also do like and share this video, so others out there can also benefit from this conversation, and hit the notification bell as well, so you will be notified anytime we upload videos.
You see, like I was saying, for my transformation under the sea, it was excruciating, a process that seemed to stretch on for an eternity. But eventually, it stopped. I opened my eyes, gasping for air, though there was no air to breathe. I could feel the power surging through me, alive and untamed. The queen watched me with an unreadable expression, her gaze both approving and distant. She told me that I was now a part of the undersea realm. She again told me that my journey has only just begun. She told me that the rituals and sacrifices that accompany the power will be given to me through dreams and visitations when I return. She then warned me to use the power wisely, because the power is both a blessing and a curse. With that, she withdrew her hand, and the current shifted, pulling me back toward the surface. I was back at the seashore, with my mentor waiting for me. As I rose, I could feel the immense power within me, but I also felt the weight of something darker, something I had not yet understood fully. And with that knowledge, the seed of doubt began to take root in my mind. I must say that was the beginning of the changes that I witnessed in my ministry. Okay, what I did was that, when I was about to go for this journey into the under the sea, I told my associate pastor that I was traveling and he should take over till I return. So when it comes to the church, they were aware that I had traveled. Like I was saying, my return came with a lot of powerful testimonies. In a space of about 3 to 6 months, I started experiencing great encounters when I ministered to the congregation. Sometimes, in the mix of the people, I will be seeing these entities going from one person to the other as they keep revealing to me their problems and the directions for the problem to be solved. I was different. People noticed it right away. The power I had gained from the undersea realm was undeniable. My hands became vessels of healing, sickly children, elderly, the wounded, none of them could resist my touch. Disease melted away like ice beneath the sun. Cancers disappeared, broken bones healed in days. These amongst others were healed and attended to in the church. The people of my church flocked to me. I became their prophetess, their healer, the one who could do what others only dreamed of. But you see, my brother, with every healing, something strange began to happen. I healed their sicknesses, but in return, I unknowingly passed on something else, something dark. It wasn't visible, not at first, but over time, I saw the changes in those I healed. Their eyes grew hollow, and they became addicted to the healing I provided. Some whispered about voices they heard in the dark. Others became desperate for more, for an answer to their newfound torment. I began to wonder if these miracles were truly gifts or curses. The more I healed, the more I felt my own soul become entangled in something I couldn't understand, something I had unknowingly invited in. I discussed it with my mentor, and he knew this, of course. He saw the toll it was taking on me, the quiet agony in my soul. But he told me not to worry. He explained that power always demands a price. I should know that I am chosen, and I must continue to grow stronger. So, that became the second time I returned to the undersea realm. I didn't just do it once. I went there again and again, each time deeper than the last. I performed rituals, made offerings, and sacrificed pieces of my own spirit to gain more. Each descent felt like a deeper cut into my being. But each time I emerged, I was stronger, more powerful. You see, sometimes, the sacrifices were not always physical. Sometimes, it was my peace of mind. Other times, it was my empathy, my ability to feel joy. Slowly, I became less human and more like the creatures that swam beneath the sea, cold, calculating, and distant from the suffering of others. I gave up pieces of my soul, and in return, I received more power. But each sacrifice left me feeling emptier. My mentor continued to guide me, pushing me toward darker depths. He told me that the final test was near, the last trial that would cement my position as a true leader of the undersea power. But as I faced that final test, I knew in my heart that there was no turning back. I had already given too much. You remember I had told you already that, during my first visit, I was told that there are certain things that will be communicated to me when I am here in the physical realm. That time came, and it changed everything about me. My entire life changed completely. The thing started one very morning when I was lying quietly in my bed. I felt this cold sensation. And I knew that I had gotten a visitor in my house. There are things your prophets and prophetess who have given their lives to these dark entities are going through that you have no idea. But they will come to church as if everything is all rosy. You in the room after a few minutes of having that feeling, one of my servants in the house called on me that I have a visitor. So when I went to the living room to see who the visitor was, it was this beautiful young lady who had come to visit me. She said that she had something to discuss with me, and as for me, I had never seen her in my life before. I took her to my study room for us to have the discussion she wanted to have with me. This is because the girls were cleaning the house. That was my first encounter with the spirit of the undersea in a human form. You see, when we got into the study, I felt the same sensation and feeling like I felt whilst I was in my bed. When I asked her why she had come to me, smiled and told me that it was time. That was the only thing she said to me. Then she got up and walked straight to the chair I was sitting in. You see, I am telling you this part because I want you all to understand that getting yourself involved with something you have no idea of is the most dangerous thing you can ever done in this world. It was as if I had been tied in the chair and I was just watching her as she came to me in the chair. That was my first time I had an intimacy with another woman. My brother, since that day, I cannot really tell you the number of ladies I have had intimacy with. And to shock you, anytime that urge to do it will come, it is only a day before service day. And when I am done with that and stand on the altar, the power will flow like never before. I didn't understand it in the first place. And so, I told my mentor about it. He then sat me down and also revealed to me that day about his own things that he goes through before he mounts his altar to be able to do mighty things in his church. For him, it takes men from their behind and had been banned from marrying. Since he was married to one of the powerful entities from under the sea. And he has been doing it for more than 10 years and he is still going stronger in the powers. And at the end of every year, he goes down under the sea and renew his covenant with his source. So he told me that lady who had come to me is now my source of power, and every quarter of the year, she will visit me and we will do whatever she wants us to do. As if that was not enough. I have this knowledge, and since I was not taking anybody's life, I was going on with it. Until one evening I had this strange encounter with an entity that made love to me in a way I have never experienced before in my life. It was so intense that, for about 3 days, I never stepped foot outside of my bedroom. And that was also the genesis of how I started having these feelings towards men who are built in a particular way. Yes, I mean those who are muscular. This started with my praises and worship leader. We went from one hotel to the other, avoided traces so that people will not be seeing us together. I have done a lot of bad things to people without them even knowing. I know a lot of pastors, both men and women, who are into this kind of ritual. What do I mean by saying this kind of ritual? You see, for the men in the church, they felt as being privileged to be sleeping with their leader, or so I thought. But me, on the other hand, I was being controlled by the powers of the dark ones. And anytime I will lay with any man or woman in the church, a part of his divine light or gift is taken away as a form of sacrifice to the dark world I derive my powers from. You see, when I have these encounters with the entities that comes to have intimate with me, they leave inside me a seed of dark energy. And when I in turn lay with anyone, I also leave that energy with the person. Be it a man or a woman. And so, even though you have never been to the underworld, your energy or soul is always there. The result of it sometimes does not come right after having engaged with them, but for time, it starts to take effect in their lives. So, if anyone knew me to be a woman of God sleeping with her members, I wasn't doing it for fun. It was for a purpose. And that purpose was to use whatever energy you generate by sleeping with me to the underworld for my own rituals, which will bring you a negative effect later in your life. This question is not something that I can count, because I have slept with a lot, both male and female. And the thing is that I make them feel good in terms of money and material things. I have never taken anyone to my house before, because I might not know where the energy or entity that will be coming to have its own time with me will prefer. So, when it happens that I have done something like that, in the room they will even choose, they are going to punish me. And because of that, I decided to be meeting them in a hotel. Let me use this opportunity to tell you this. Anyone who will be listening to me, don't ever think that sleeping with a pastor, be it a male or female pastor, without you being married to them is of any good. All the promises they will give you is nothing compared to the things that they exchange with you in the act of doing it. You see, even if you end up getting much money from them and even establishing your business, you will end up losing it all. Because it takes sacrifices to maintain things given by the evil or dark one. SOS, don't think for once that you are doing yourself any good by sleeping with your prophet who is not your husband. Neither should you sleep with your prophetess who is not your wife. Because for a prophet or prophetess to be sleeping with someone who he or she is not legally married to, should tell you a lot about the source of the person's power. This is because you cannot be preaching good and morality from the scriptures and be doing different from what you preach. The reason why someone can do it is only when that person is possessed by the demonic entity which is not from the God that he or she claimed to be serving. For me, it got to a time where I couldn't control my urges anymore. I wanted it daily. That was when I realized I was heading towards my doom. I need you not to mention any name because I have opted out of the church. I am no more a minister or leader of the church. I have handed the church over to someone and I am home focusing on how to wash myself clean again. My realization of wanting to return or walk away from all this is when my mentor died. The things he passed through before he finally gave up got me to be more so that I will one day meet the same fate. You see, the lives I have destroyed and caused pain to, I cannot reverse or even begin to count them. But I believe that if I am going to leave this plane, I must as well come clean and let the whole world know what is there. And also want the guys in particular who will accept anything juicy from women old enough to be their mothers. You are only selling your soul to things that you have no idea of. I will please entreat you all to have patience in life. Because with patience, you will be able to see those things that are cloudy in your life. Thank you, my brother, for having me. I just hope that my message will be a blessing to someone out there.
Don't forget to please subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. I want to talk about something that's often overlooked but very important, the dangers of seeking miracles in the wrong places, particularly in churches where some pastors may be using deceptive or even demonic powers to manipulate people. It's natural to want to see signs and wonders, to feel hope in times of difficulty. We all desire miracles, but we must remember that not all who perform miracles are doing so through the power of God. Some pastors and leaders prey on people's desperation, using tactics that may seem miraculous but are, in fact, driven by demonic forces. These pastors may manipulate the congregation, promising healing, wealth, or breakthroughs, while leading people further away from the truth of God's word. Here's where it gets dangerous: spiritual manipulation. When we seek miracles above truth, we open ourselves up to spiritual deception. These pastors know exactly how to tap into human emotions and fears, using them to gain power, money, or influence over their followers. Instead of turning to God's true word for guidance and healing, people get distracted by false promises and end up spiritually broken. The Bible warns us in Matthew chapter 7 verse 15 to 16. It says, "Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit, you will recognize them." This means that not every person who claims to be a servant of God is actually serving Him. Miracles are a sign of God's power, but we must test every spirit. Be cautious of anyone who is more focused on getting your money, admiration, or loyalty than on teaching the true word of God. So, here's my advice: if you're looking for miracles or breakthroughs, make sure you're seeking them through a solid relationship with God, grounded in prayer, studying the Bible, and connecting with leaders who are genuinely guiding you towards spiritual growth. Don't fall for flashy promises or emotional manipulation. Remember, God's miracles are real, but they come with truth, love, and peace. Don't let anyone lead you astray for their own gain. Stay grounded, stay prayerful, and stay vigilant. I hope this message encourages you to be discerning in your spiritual journey. Thanks for watching, and we shall meet again in the next video. Thank you.